ratio under 6, Dave, because they also get to the free throw line at a high rate. James Harden does a great job getting to the free throw line. They shoot an amazing amount of free throws. Well, they're number 1 in the NBA in
here on Sunday. Turned it over 17 times, leading to 22 Kings points. And Tucker from downtown.
He plays off the greatness of all the players around him. And James Harden does an amazing job of getting the basketball as Minnesota gets a 24-second shot clock violation. I really like the angles that he sets screens at. And that's the thing that he does so beautifully. If you just watch him, the way he gets people open. He got Chris Paul open that time. Help.
Paul, who is not, as of right now, scheduled to partake All-Star Weekend, barring an injury, get it to go. But, Jim, this is clearly the stiffest test the Timberwolves have faced over this span. Capella hit as he goes up, and he'll have a chance for the three-point play.
Green, just knocks off the defender, Jimmy Butler. Towns has to help a little bit.
Tom Thibodeau talking about how when they go to the bench, they can bring in shooting, and they certainly do that as Capella gets hit again going up.
Again, the pocket pass. He just throws it right between the legs of Karl Anthony Towns.
4 per game. That's 3rd best in the league. Rockets make 20.2 per game, number 1 in the league. Charlotte is in between.
7 of 10. He went 8 of 15 after that. A bunch of double-digit attempts as Nene gets inside again.
History, Chris Paul doing it as well. Timberwolves, though, with an 8-point advantage late in the first. Coming up with the rebounds. Wiggins gets stripped away by Chris Paul. Green for 3. And Gerald Green, his second made 3 tonight. Bright note down in Houston. He was 3 of 5 from downtown in that first meeting. At 13 points. And the Rockets, for the first time tonight, now have the lead.
Side out.
They're saying a sweep through, so it's not going to be free throws. Side out after the timeout. Rockets have not gotten much out of Harden in terms of offense. They've come back to build this lead, and you shudder to think what might happen if Harden starts doing more of that.
The start that Minnesota got off to, but ever since then, they've been really operating at a high rate. Minnesota has 6 turnovers as Harden, again, makes a layup, lulling Andrew Wiggins to sleep. Thank goodness for Jeff Teague. He's come to play.
Tucker out of the corner, and he buries his second 3 by as many as 9. Something's going to have to give. Houston an 8-game win streak coming into the game. Timberwolves 13-game home win streak, and Capella now has a dozen. Wiggins foul in the second quarter, the Bielitsa foul in the second quarter, and this Towns foul by Mute. Shot clock down to 2. Harden's got to launch a deep 3, and of course finds nothing but the bottom of the net.
Trying to force him to his right hand, and he's getting up to contest on that and force him to his right hand, and he's getting up to contest on that left hand. When you get up and force him right, you're right there on the left hand, but he doesn't.
Towns, what a pass inside. Wiggins mishandles, and here come the Rockets. Harden and Paul, and Paul off the feed from James Harden. Harden and Paul in transition early in the 3rd. Rocket range.
That's what happens when you get all these defensive-minded guys. You got raw dogs like P.J. Tucker, Bob Mute, Clint Capella. Really important to what Cleveland does, but he was pretty good in a Laker uniform. And DeLon Wright, we really like DeLon Wright, right? What he's been able to do in Toronto, they got a bunch of guys that come off the bench in Toronto and do a great job saving Jimmy along the baseline there, and then the nice backdoor cut by Butler.
Gordon for 3.
They want him to come off the bench. Stats have been kind of messed up. The fast break points around the league have been messed up. As Harden makes another hard shot. This dude.
Wiggins has been absent.
Yep.
Gordon. Wow,
unbelievable.
How tough is that 3? He had a couple of bodies right in front of him. I'm not even sure he could see the rim.
Gunfighter. He's got a scorer's mentality. Doesn't let a few misses deter him as you see the rim run by Clint Capella there. Pick and roll, little lob dunk. So Gorgie tries to roll with him, and Andrew Wiggins just not enough of a deterrent. Could have been called for a foul there with pushing the back.
Chris Paul. Anderson from way deep. Paul for Anderson, and Anderson knew it was good the second he let it fly. It's his 4th made 3 tonight. Towns and James Harden are number 1 and 2 in the league in points per shot as Chris Paul able to drill it. So Wolves have to get some stops. Anderson. Rockets have 14 made threes tonight, make it 15 offensively.
Well, if you put your hands down.
Anderson, heat check. Oh my goodness! Ryan Anderson just knocked down another three, another deep one. Just a little bit long, offensive rebound to Paul. No looks off in the corner. Tucker, he knocks it down. Team the Rockets obviously are, and it just typically leans in their favor because of it. Harden for three, right on cue. 19 of them tonight. Harden into the paint, fouled, and one.
And that's against Karl Anthony Towns, one of the best big men in the NBA, and James Harden just puts on beast mode, bumps him there.
12 of his 21 in the fourth. Harden for three.
Good gracious.
And you know, noted philosopher Donatas Motiejunas once said, if you're afraid of wolves, and Harden rattles in the triple. That's number 6 for the Beard. That's 32 for James Harden, 25 of which have come in the second half.